Hurry up. Here's everything in place. Look at that, I actually made it. I just ran upstairs. Give me a second here to get organized. We have a stream today, a different stream. Something interesting. Like it isn't. What am I missing? I'm missing a baron. Hang on a second here. I've been running around back and forth trying to get this all ready. One moment, please. I need a couple of barons. Hang on. Number 4 should do it, I guess. Let's see. I like number 6. Doesn't have number 6 right now. Okay, here we are. Here we are. No owls today. Some of you haven't seen before. Tools I'm going to need. Hammer. Nails. Some tape. And my usual stuff. Got a link I can show you. Two nights ago on Yahoo Auction, 3 nights ago, here in Japan, auction came up for some woodblocks. This happens. We find the link here. I'm going to pop a link into the chat. There's going to be people joining this thing over the next few hours or next few minutes, whatever. I can't keep repeating the same link, but there's a link from a couple of nights ago. An auction here in Japan. The item looked interesting, so I bid on it and we got it. And what it was a bunch of small wood blocks, very tiny wood blocks. What's the size? You can see what they are, fit in the palm of my hand. They're carved on both sides. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. One of them is blank on the back. The key block is blank on the back. This is the key block, and maybe you can see something a bit funny about it. Do you see the line here? And what it is, it's a metal key block. It's just like the Yoshidas used to do with their Shinhanga prints. They took the design, had it made into a metal key block by a printing company, put the piece of metal onto a piece of wood, and printed it. And that's what we're going to do here this morning. I've got these blocks. I want to find out if they're printable, if they're in usable condition. So we're going to experiment with these for the next hour. And right away, when we open them up, we found a problem. You can perhaps see it by this one. Here's one of the blocks here. And it's sort of a question, hunt for the registration marks. Now, normally on a block like this, we would have the registration marks in one corner and along the side, because we always print things on the long direction. But on this one, there seems to be a little bit of a notch here for a registration mark, and over here they've cut out part of the actual image itself to leave a corner. That's the registration mark. Over on the key block, again, instead of being this way around with a registration corner here and a line here, they've done it with that little notch on one side, and over here there isn't anything. There's just a kind of a funky little nick carved into the corner. So this thing really has no usable registration marks. So what I'm going to try today, we've got what we call a Soto Kento jig. Soto Kento, outside registration marks. When we did our Henry manga book, we needed to make it in a different form. We needed to make it as single sheets. We needed to make it as double sheets. So we didn't carve registration marks on the blocks. We used this outside shape. And what the printers did, I don't know if I've got one handy, if I can reach it or not. Here, this isn't a block from the Henry Manga, but what we did was with our own blocks, we put them into the jig. It's got little bolt things where the blocks bolt in, and the registration marks are on the outside. So we could print one page by itself, or we could print two pages up on a larger sheet of paper. In fact, that's what Sugi-san's been doing the last few days. She's been making more copies of the Henry Manga pages. Anyway, because we have this jig, I'm going to try and repurpose it to use it tonight for these blocks. And it's going to be a bit, chaotic. Not chaotic is the right word, but these blocks don't have the bolts to fit the jig. So what I have to do is, I figured out last night, I'm going to just put them in here for testing. And because we don't have any kind of clamp mechanism built here, I'm just going to tack them in. Tack them in place with a nail. Not that way. That should do it. And the registration marks, as I said, they're movable on this thing. So what I want to do is I want to put them in a place where I can move them in and out for subsequent prints. You're asking, would it have been a postcard design? It's a bit small for that. It seems to be about, where's my graphic? It's about, no, it's way smaller, you know. It's smaller than your typical Japanese postcard print. It's about 95 millimeters by 55 millimeters. So it would fit inside a Japanese postcard size. But it's really strange. They put the registration mark right up against the color and then far away from the color. So I have no idea. It might have been a little envelope or something they made with this printing on the cover. I don't know. We have to do a bit more investigation. It's still new to us. Okay, now, let's have a go at this. I know this is a metal block, eh? So it doesn't need the normal printing techniques here. In fact, I'm going to mention right up that I don't have a whole lot of experience printing metal blocks because we don't do things that way. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here. Let's just try it and see what happens. Now obviously with a metal block there's no question about warming it up or getting it ready or getting pigment to sink into it or something. The question is going to be finding the right balance between water and pigment. All right, let's try some junk paper here. Way too wet. It's going to print, I think. Looks like it's going to print. Now what we're going to do here this morning is this. This block is too small for our jig. The paper I'm going to use to do the printing will go with the registration marks here, but it doesn't fit the registration marks out here that we built. This jig was built for the Henry Munga series. So what I'm going to do is, once I find the position to print this, I'm going to use our tape and make another registration mark here. Carved. The block you're looking at right now wasn't carved. It was made photographically. Somebody drew or they prepared the lines on a sheet of paper. This is before the Photoshop era. This is pre-war almost certainly. The lines were prepared and then photographically it was put into some kind of an etching process. To make this block. What you're seeing here wasn't carved. The color blocks were carved. But it prints finely. Boy, it prints very delicately. first stage of this, there's a bunch of color blocks here. However, these color blocks don't have good registration marks. So as I do my test printing this morning, working through one color, next color, next color, next color, I'm going to have to set these registration marks as to where they should be, but I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print first the 10 or 11 or 12 copies on this copy paper. And when I do then the printing, when I switch to each color in turn, I'll use the copy paper first to help me find where the lines should be, the registration marks. And I'm sorry, difficult to explain. You'll see when I go through this. So what I'm doing first is I'm going to prepare a bunch of test sheets. These are all just now, the first things you see, they're all just basically on copy paper here. And these are going to be tests so that I can get the registration marks lined up for each color block in turn. I'm going to need a couple for each of the color blocks, and there's 5 of those, so just have patience here for a minute while I do this, and then we'll start doing the real printing. Not seeing the chat very much here, sorry. Do you have a reference print for the colors used? The thing was wrapped in a piece of paper like this with some rough ideas of what colors they were. You can see that in the auction page. Okay, that should be enough for now. Let's get started with this. Those are proof sheets I'll use when I'm adjusting the color blocks registration. We'll put them aside for the moment. Now let's use our real washi and try and print a few copies of this. I think I've got 6 sheets prepared in here. I'm not really sure. Can't remember. Let's have a go at trying to print this on proper washi paper. Really soft, moist washi is prepared here. As I said, this is a totally new experience for me, printing on metal blocks. I have no idea what the best formula, how much paste, how much water. You want to keep it fairly light. Let's just try it. It's all experimenting here today. Okay, there's the first impression. Can't see what I'm doing here. Looks good. Also, we're a bit curious about the dates on this thing. When I got the blocks, they were wrapped in some newspaper, kind of brown newspaper. And when you open it up, old Japanese news, it says Showa 57. Showa 57. I'm not sure when that is. Showa 57. Can someone do a quick, that'd be 1981, 1982, somewhere on there? I'm not quite sure. Early 1980s, I guess. And I think these blocks would have been made much, much earlier than that. That's simply the last time they were probably opened up and used. And what I say was Showa. Yeah, 1982. Yeah. But these blocks clearly they date way back beyond that, but that'll be the last time they were wrapped up, I guess, or one of the last times they were wrapped up. I think this is looking kind of nice. Very soft, very delicate. I'll put it in the other camera here. As far as the designer goes, I think if somebody Googles around for me, there's a designer who worked for Watanabe called Ito Shinsui. And he did a design that looks quite similar to this. And I'm suspecting this is a rip-off of a design by Ito Shinsui. If you Google up, go to ukiyo-e.org or something and Google Shinsui and umbrella or snow or kasa, I'm guessing it'll show up. So I think this is a rip-off or a clone or a pirated version, or authorized or not, I have no idea, of a design by Shinsui. Somebody should be able to find it, I think. Who was the winner there? Is it the same or is it close? I didn't actually check this myself yet. Is it an actual reproduction or is it just a rough knockoff? Okay, still a couple more. I don't want to be wasting too much time here this morning. Maybe one more. If you want to compare the two, someone's asking about my version, this version. Go to the auction page that I linked earlier. On the auction page, there should be an image of the finished thing. Yeah, it looks nice. And when I got the blocks, they were wrapped up. Here, they were wrapped up with this little image. I can't see. Glasses on, glasses off, glasses on, glasses off. Here's the one that's wrapped with the blocks. It's going to focus too close, too far. So I don't see any bamboo. And the original would have been, I don't know, the original would have been Oban size, I guess, like an ukiyo-e Oban. This is just a little, so I think it was made just for a little envelope of some kind, you know. It's probably totally an unauthorized knockoff. Which is an interesting point. Suppose these blocks turn out to be usable. Should I put this in our shop? I don't know. Because Ito Shinsui, it's, his work is still not public domain. It's still, wrapped up under copyright protection. I don't know if there's a family left, whatever, but it's technically not public domain. And I think he did most of his work through Watanabe, so that original one you found on the net there is probably published by Watanabe. Okay, here we go. Out she comes. Got no way to tell where it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Well, what's first? What's first? What's first? Where's the sample? I've lost it already. Here it is. So good. Might be better to tape this in, I guess. I don't know. If we're going to do an edition from this later, we'll have to build a much more stable system, absolutely. That'll do for now. Okay, now we'll need for this, we'll need some paste. No, someone's asking, why would they make metal blocks for a cheap knockoff? It's not more expensive, it's much cheaper. To make this metal block would have cost them just a couple of bucks. Printing workshop, nothing. That's nothing, a couple of bucks. To have this carved, this delicately and this small, that's top level carving. That wouldn't have been a couple of bucks. So this is absolutely cheaper. And I'm sure they would have made just running, bang, 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 bang. They would have made many, 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 many. Okay, what do we got? I got some brushes ready for myself here. What are we going to do first? This is whatever, kind of a brownish color. Running out of water. Someone's asking if we can tell the difference between metal blocks and wooden blocks on a finished print, and the answer is sometimes. Sometimes. I know. I don't have all the information to show you the story here, but I got a bunch of prints a while ago that looked like they really could have been made from metal blocks. But under microscopic investigation, you could see a lot of places where you could actually see where there was defects, where the knife had popped and chipped and stuff like that. And usually on a metal block, it's done from line drawings. So when there's places where the lines crisscross, 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 it's perfect in the block. But when they carve crisscross, crisscross by hand, we, almost invariably some of them get popped out in the little tiny interstices. And when you're looking at the finished print, if you can see some of those little pop-outs, then you're pretty much sure that was taken from a wooden block. But if you can't see any of those, then you're left not sure. Was it metal? Was it wood? You can't really be sure which it was. I need a rag for making gradations. I didn't get that. Okay, excuse me a minute. I gotta go get something else here. Not very well prepared this morning. Yo-sho. Back in a minute. Let's use this one. Someone's asking about a long question about the metal blocks. Why didn't it dominate whatever? Well, during the Meiji era, it did. Metal blocks really took over for a very, very long time. Almost all the prints we know as Kuchie prints, they were printed from metal blocks. The Yoshida prints are almost all made from metal blocks. So you could say, to a large extent, metal blocks did win that battle once the technology came over. In the 20th century, when people are making prints, the publishers are making prints for the tourist market, they did it on wood block because that's what the tourists expect to see. They don't, for a wood block print, they don't expect something to be made on metal blocks. So yeah, the metal blocks did actually basically win the battle. There's our umbrella gradation. Now, what I don't know is how the registration marks need to be, because they're just, we don't have a clue. So that's why I printed up those test sheets before. I now have to try and figure out where to put these screws for this registration mark so that that's going to match these. And at the moment, it's just a total guess. Let's just see. This is not going to work, but it will tell us how far we need to move the screws up and down to match. I better put some pigment on. I can't see it. I was hoping I'd be able to see it without pigment, but no go. Okay, we have to move the paper down, down, down. And the paper also has to go. Okay. If you can see what's going on here, we've done a test impression. And as I said, there's random registration marks. It doesn't match. And to make it match up, the paper has to go down and out to make it line up. So in order to line up with this brown, so the paper needs to go down about 2 millimeters. And it needs to go this way, 2 millimeters. Which means I've got to move these registration marks. So here we go. This one gets screwed this way. That way. This one has to come, which way did I say? Paper needs to go this way. So the paper has to come back, other way. Okay, let's try it again. Think about this, think about this. Sorry for the... So it's got to be twisted now. That key block has to come this way. means the paper has to go. No, it's okay there. Sorry for the silence here, excuse me. It's just, it's not so much to talk about. You're just trying to figure out where the registration mark should go. Where are we? Where are we? Okay, we're close there. We're almost there now. If we just slide that block this way, we're good to go. Let's try that. That might be it. Let's try. There's not much you can see from that distance. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where the right position is for these registration marks. That's why we made these test sheets. Okay, let's try the real washi now. I think it might be close. Close, nay. There we are with the first color in. I think I should lighten it up with that little sample I had. The umbrella was a bit lighter than that. got to go out a tiny bit more at the top. Which one is which? No, that's this way. The line has to go. Oh, it's got to be in a bit more at the top. Oh, look at that, we've got it. Took a bit of adjusting, but there it is. There's the first one, all matched up where it should go. Looking good. I don't know if this is interesting for the watchers. I'm sorry, it's all detailed. You can't really see what's going on. Should I zoom the camera in a bit more? I'm not really sure. Jedson, good morning. How you doing? Okay, before I forget what I'm doing, let me print these last three. What have I got here? Very nice. This is actually a usable set of blocks. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. Or at least the first two blocks are usable. Let's see. Okay, there's the first two impressions in. The key block and the first color. Back we go around again. Let's take this out. Let's try another one. What have we got? Let's try up on the umbrella is another area of yellow. This is Yamabuki, the color. I've got no idea what the registration marks again, so we just jam it in there. Let's try the same thing. Right, retire one brush. Grab another brush. This is a flat color, not a gradation. Where's my water? And this is Yamabuki. It's a mix of yellow and red. So let's keep these here. Let's put them out here. There's no way I'm going to mix up special colors for a test like this. There's no way. It doesn't matter. What we're testing here is a set of blocks. We're not testing, you know, coloration and stuff. Chats. What's happening? No, I'm not going to note the registration offsets down somewhere. All I'm doing right at the moment is I'm trying to figure out, is this block set going to actually be usable? And if it is usable, what we're going to do is I'm going to get my router out. We're going to route a strip along each block here, and I'm going to carve in brand new registration marks on these blocks. There's no way we're going to do it with a funny jig setup like this to try and make 100 prints. It would just be too much trouble. So this is simply a block test to see if this block set is okay, if they match, if they work out. If it does, we'll make it. Someone's asking why there are no registration marks. There are, but they're just bizarrely unusable. The original registration marks, one corner is carved right up into the corner of the thing itself. So we would have to print this on a piece of paper just like this. It would be sitting at the corner of the piece of paper. There's no way we can publish a print like that. I've got no idea why they did this. Also, the two registration marks that are here, the corner and the sideline, are in the wrong orientation. For a set of blocks, you need a corner mark here and a side corner here, and you can print lengthwise. So this must have been some special block. Maybe it was put into a jig together with some type and done in a printing press. I really don't know, but it's unusable in the form that they are. But if we can just use those carved areas, work out a new registration system, bang, away we go. Could be that they're just not going to be usable. It's just too much finicky time and trouble, or maybe the blocks have warped and expanded. They're not printable. We don't know. This is all just simply a very first tiny test to see if they're going to work. If they don't, then that's it. I wasted my money. We just got a little antique. I bid a little bit more than I wanted to for this. If you see the auction page, you'll see what the final price was. It was 25,000 yen, which was more than I really wanted to pay for this, but okay, let's try this. Okay, here we go. So the next block is ready, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going back again to those proof sheets I made on junk copy paper. I'm going to try and just match it up and see where the registration mark should go before I try using the real washi. I'll just use this setup for the last block. Maybe they're all going to be the same. Who knows? I kind of doubt it, but... No, it's not even close to the same as the last one. This one, where does it have to go? The paper has to go... Not quite sure. It's a twisted setup. The paper has to go in at the top and up a little bit. So the paper has to go up a little bit. So up goes our mark. Up. It's got to come in at the top, so I'll use my line here. Let's try another. We just have to test and test and test until we see where it should be. That's much closer, except now at the edge that's way off. That part fits, but this part doesn't now. Rotate it now. It's going to be rotated this way. It's going to go. This says out at the bottom and in at the top. Let's try again. And now go straight down. That's the limit of our reach there. Let's try this and see what we get. I think we're almost there. Oh, look at this. Here we go. Coming up. The more we get along on this, the more I'm convinced this block set might actually work, you know? It's going to be a real bear trying to make nice registration marks, but it might work. Touchy, touchy. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we're almost bang on now, I think. Very good. One more sheet for this color. The thing with blocks this small, you know, and color areas this small, once you do get it set up and once you're running, it's bang, 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 bang. We can make a ton of these things. If I can get this organized and get a good set of registration marks cut on these blocks, we can really go to town on it. And what you're seeing here today, this is not normal, of course. You know, we're just testing and proofing and fooling around. But you can see the smallness, 1-1, rub, print, height, rub. It's seconds. You could do maybe this yellow, you could do three impressions in a minute. So in an hour, you can do a couple of hundred of any given color on a print like this. So once it's organized, once it's up and running, it's really, really productive. So it's funny, what you're seeing today is not anything like the normal work for us. This printmaking can be extremely productive once it's up and running. Okay, that was the yellow, that was the Casa. What's next? Let's find this brick red. Again, don't have any idea where to start. Let's just put it in wherever the last one was and then adjust it as we go. That brush retires. Let's get another brush for brick red. Don't need that. We need this, and we'll need some red. Need that. Get the red warmed up. The printing areas are so tiny that the brushwork is minimal. It's a second's work to brush it out, a second's work to rub it with the Baren. Once it's all worked out. Eh? Okay, where am I? It's a chat. Look at this, look at this. I see we seem to have a bunch of newbies today here. Sorry, this is not a typical stream for us today. This is very finicky and pinicky work. Normally there's much more production going on today here. Oh, Jacques, good morning, good morning, good morning. Jacques, it's a good question. What he's asking is, why am I wasting my time fooling around with this when real work, like finishing the Ukiyo-e Heroes books, is waiting for me? It is. I know. I'm doing this right now because I need something to fill the stream this morning, and this is something to do that. These blocks came in yesterday. This is not part of our normal productive work, and believe me, I'm not going to be sitting here for the rest of this day doing this. Once the stream is off today, I am back to my normal work. My schedule for the next few days, Tuesday is a day off for us, and instead of working in the shop downstairs, I will be spending the entire day on the Ukiyo-e Heroes books, and hopefully I'll be able to ship them Tuesday night over to Jed. As far as the Octopus print color blocks goes, yeah, it's going to need me to set aside a day or a half a day to get one of the color blocks up and running so I can do this. So yeah, sorry, Jacques, I have no good idea. Just this was a way to fill stream time this morning, rather than come back and do more sewing on the Ukiyo-e Heroes books. Having this stream, you know, it's I know it's fun and everything else, but it's a bit of a burden in that every day I have to find something to do here. And when I have lots of production work going on, when I'm printing owls or when I'm printing, you know, whatever, it's okay. But if I don't have a clean production work schedule for the day, it's difficult to find something to do for the stream. All right, let's test this again, just to get, again, where we were with the previous one, just as a starting point. Not too far off, right? It has to go out. Quite a bit out here. Oh, very, very close. Very, very close. Up a bit more, half of that. There we are. They are going to fit, you know, these blocks are going to fit actually. Interesting. Let's do this. Okay. Got our 5 sheets again. Not too far. Go out a bit here. So far, so good, I think. It's very, very, very touchy because they're so small. But I think the blocks will turn out to be usable, I think. Okay, what's next? Retired the red. Sorry about not following the stream so much. Jacques, it's nice to see you here this morning. I haven't talked to you for a while. Your name was coming up on the stream. Was it yesterday or the day before? Somebody was asking about the sizing. Yesterday, I was doing sizing. Someone was asking, wasn't using the sizing machine recently, and we linked to your website to have a look at the pictures of it. So, was the seller a former printmaker? We don't have any idea. Just people sell stuff on Yahoo Auctions. We don't know who they are. I think it's just someone who found the old set of blocks. I don't know. What am I doing next? Hi. What's the time? Oh, geez, we're out of time, The shop today, it's Saturday, and we're short-staffed again. It's me and Kawai-san. We're going to be doing everything, and there's a bunch of print parties scheduled. I'm not going to be able to get through this today, sorry. Okay, let's try the next one. Don't need the reds. We need a bit of blue. It's way too dark. Yeah, that question Jacques is asking, what am I doing? Why am I fooling around with this stuff on the stream instead of doing, quote, real work when there's so much waiting to be done? He mentioned a couple. The Ukiyo-e Heroes books are not ready yet. The Octopus print is still under construction. The shop downstairs, I'm supposed to be doing construction work downstairs. We're still working on the new software to help our carvers and printers plan the work coming up. So why am I doing this? As I said, really, I need something that's streamable. A lot of my work each day just isn't streamable, The construction work downstairs certainly isn't, and the bookkeeping work isn't. So I just did this morning because I thought it might be something that might be just, a little bit interesting for people to watch, but... Okay, this one's going to be a gradation, but for now, just for a moment, just to try and get the registration worked out, we go back to our test sheets again. And again, just put it in at basically almost a random place to see where it is, to see where it's going to go. I did that there just so I know what I've done. Oh, no way, it's right on. Is it? Not quite right on, but very, very, very close. It's got to go down the tiniest fraction. It's got to go out at the top. Okay. Okay. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. I think that's very, very close. Very close. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm running out of time anyway this morning. What is it? It's 9:20. I've got to get downstairs in a few minutes. All right, look at this, look at this, look at this. Coming along, coming along. I hear the bell down in the shop. I hope that's Kawai-san. There is another reason, for fooling around with these blocks when I really shouldn't be, in that, oops, what am I slipping here now? I'm going to go out a bit at the bottom. In that some of our printers now, they're really getting going. Ishikawa-san, she's been doing these subscription prints and stuff, and she's really boogieing along, and she wants some more work to do, something interesting. And she's finished in advance her work for the subscription prints for April. So she wants something else to get going on. If this block set turns out to be nicely and usable, then we can throw this to her to get started on. It would be really nice to put this in the shop. So this is not just a complete fooling around session for me. This is, if this block set is usable, this is productive work. So. Okay, what's left is a few more left. There's what's left. There's a vermilion on the kimono that's still to go. There's a black hairpiece still to go. And there's the one that really would make the print pop too. There's a background impression still to go. But I am now out of time here. It's 9:23 and I've got to get downstairs because it's just me and Kawai-san together in the shop today. So I'm not sure what to think about for streams. Today's Saturday. Sunday morning, it'll be the same situation for me. I'm the shop tanto. So maybe what I'll be doing tomorrow morning is I'm going to pick up this. I'm going to continue this and try and finish these off and see how they go. So this will be my work tomorrow morning. I'll be really doing this again tomorrow. Then I just can't see in advance of this. As I was mentioning when Jacques asked that question, there's many, many different jobs on my desk right now, but very few of them are actually easily streamable. So I'm not quite sure what the session will be. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I'm sorry. Socks. Yeah, I've got socks on now today, so my mother, I don't know if she's here today. I'm sorry. I don't know. Mom, I'm wearing my socks today. Don't worry. There's lots of questions I didn't see. I'm sorry, people are asking me, is the shop open every day? The shop's closed Tuesdays. Sorry about that. Yes, people are answering this, I see. The prices are the same as online. They're very, very close. So now the online prices for the most part are in dollars and euros and pounds because it's a triple currency shop now. And the shop prices here in Japan are in yen. And we don't change them every day, depending on where the dollars and the yen are changing. We try and keep them basically in the same zone. So you don't have to worry about the prices being grotesquely different online or in the shop. But is it exactly the same every day? I can't tell you. Yes, someone's asking, did I see my mom's message about the stream? Yes, I did see it yesterday, and I do have my socks on today. So, okay. She's here. Okay. All right, Mom. Thank you. Okay, I do have to go. I'm sorry. And again, it's been a not so interesting stream this morning. I'm sorry. This is the way our life is here this day. We've got some stuff is smooth and easy and some stuff is experimental. I'll be continuing this experimental work in tomorrow morning stream. This is Saturday for me, so Sunday tomorrow in Asakusa, I'll be finishing this one off and trying to make a judgment on whether we should actually go ahead and adjust these blocks and use them for production work. Okay, I'm off. I'm out of here. I got to get downstairs. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same station, with the same bit of work. Thanks very much for watching. I'm sorry if it wasn't so interesting today, but we do what we can do. Bye-bye. What I should do is, as I sign off, I should put something for Twitch to catch. What should I put here? Let's see. One of these prints. This is not well balanced yet, the colors now. Maybe I should just put it up here like this, something. So Twitch uses this as a closing picture for the stream. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Okay, thanks people. See you next time.